of New York, we have no COVID positive cases. For the entire month of February, we now know that COVID was existent in New York City. So DOH report actually says they can't conclusively say on visitors, but they have to assume that because it was within the general population, that it was walking through the front door into the nursing homes, again, through no fault of their own, and staff as well. It was February and March, and we now know asymptomatic people can give the virus to other people. So how would they have known? These are healthcare professionals. They would never do anything to intentionally hurt anybody else, but that's the conclusion. And most importantly, when you look at the timeline, we now know that from date of infection to death, it's approximately 18 to 25 days. So when you look at when the mortality took place, when people were dying in nursing homes, it began in the end of March and continued through, and its spike was the first week of April. So when you back out the dates on that, people were obviously giving it to people beginning at the end of February, beginning of March.
Yeah, let me just to put in perspective. Nobody knew what they were talking about for a long time. That's the bottom line here. And the federal government was just plain wrong. We had our first case March 1. They now say the virus was coming here January and February. And it came from Europe. And we had tens of thousands of cases because the antibody test now shows you had people back in February. So by the time we had our first case, March 1, it was already here. It had been here for weeks, if not months. And it was totally undetected. I mean, nobody had an idea. Second, they said asymptomatic people could not spread it. Remember that? We lived with that truth for a long time. Now they say, whoops, that was wrong. Asymptomatic people can spread it. So you didn't even have any symptoms. You didn't even think you had a bug or a virus or anything. You didn't even think you had a cold. You had no symptoms. And you went and visited your relative in a nursing home. January, February, up to mid-March. We do the family ban March 15th, let's say. We had our first case March 1. We did the family ban 2 weeks after the first case. And people were saying to me, why are you doing this so abruptly, so quickly? We did the ban within 2 weeks. Sounded fast, right? From first case to ban 2 weeks? No. The virus was here February, the virus was here January. And there was asymptomatic spread, which means you could have walked into a nursing home, been totally conscientious, had no signs of anything, and walked it into a nursing home.
So patients were coming back from hospitals, and they were not the main driver.